Welcome to the astrology forecast for October 6th through the 12th. I am Jamie Kennedy. I hope you are doing well. Let's talk about the week ahead. Communication gets awkward as Mercury moves into Scorpio and clashes with Pluto. Expect intense thoughts and emotions bubbling up. Relationships are tested. Venus and Saturn's tough aspects may make love and partnerships feel heavy or confusing. It's not the best week to launch big projects, with Mars in a hard aspect with Saturn, and after the full moon, new ventures may hit walls or fizzle out. To book a reading with me, go to classiccosmos.com. On Monday, October 6th, at 12:48 a.m. EDT, the moon will enter Aries. The moon is overly excited and irritated in Aries. At 12:41 p.m. EDT, Mercury is changing zodiac signs, moving from Libra to Scorpio. Mercury isn't at its best in Scorpio because Scorpio is considered a mute sign, and Mercury is related to communication. If you have significant parts of your chart in mute signs, you may find it difficult to communicate your emotions or thoughts in words. If you have this difficulty, don't rely on nonverbal cues because others may not understand them. On Tuesday, October 7th, Mercury will be in a hard aspect to Pluto. This may mean that we are thinking powerfully deep yet dark thoughts. There may be news that causes these thoughts. The moon's last aspect will be to Jupiter before it is void of course at 2:23 p.m. EDT. When the moon is void of course, it is not a good time to launch a new business or propose to your girlfriend or boyfriend. Whatever that is started when the moon is void of course will not be successful. At 1:13 a.m. on Wednesday, October 8th, the moon moves into Taurus. The moon loves to be in Taurus. Taurus provides the safety, security, and stability that the moon craves. At 9:35 p.m. EDT, the sun will be in a hard aspect to Uranus. The sun illuminates or shines a light on topics that Uranus represents. Topics like astrology, technology, and the sciences, or people who are ahead of their time. If you have a hard aspect between these two planets in your birth chart, it may mean that your mind is overstimulated. You may feel anxious often and feel overwhelmed by life. Let's move to Thursday, October 9th. Using this table, Venus is in a relationship with Saturn that is similar to opposition. This could mean that you could become unsatisfied with your romantic life. Your romantic relationship might start to feel like a chore. If you want to stay with your partner, this stay may take putting in the work on your relationship to reinforce your bonds. If you have this planetary relationship in your chart, it may mean that you have been divorced, or perhaps you married young and you've stayed with your spouse for life. At 10:03 p.m., Mars will be in a hard aspect to Saturn. It's not a good planetary relationship for launching a successful business or project. No matter how much effort is put into achieving a goal, there may be challenges that require more energy than you are capable of having in order to overcome them. In a birth chart, this could represent repressed anger, which eventually results in feeling depressed. You might feel like your life is more challenging than others, but everyone has their personal challenges and you are not alone. This aspect between Mars and Saturn happens when the moon is void of course. The moon will be void of course from 8:31 p.m. EDT to 1:12 a.m. EDT on October 10th. On Friday, October 10th, the moon moves into Gemini, where the moon is not at her best. In this sign, the moon feels lost and confused in a foreign land. Other than the moon moving into Gemini, there aren't any notable aspects. On Saturday, October 11th, Venus will be opposite Saturn. You might be in your relationship because you think or feel you have to be, instead of because you're in love. It may be a good time to reconsider a romantic relationship if you don't want to continue it. Using this table, Venus is in a relationship to Neptune that is similar to an opposition. This may represent disappointment in your love life, especially if you are projecting your romantic ideals onto your partner. Your partner may or may not live up to your ideals, and you may need to see them for who they are. At 10:55 p.m. EDT, the moon's last aspect will be to Venus, and the moon will be void of course from that time until 2:37 a.m. EDT on Sunday. On Sunday, October 12th, the moon moves into Cancer, where the moon is at home. The moon loves being in this sign, even more than being in Taurus. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video.